What did you say? Over 1,000 companies closed in South Africa, and over 300 listed JSE companies actually vacated this country for better ventures. Obviously, in stable economies and all of that, this is bad. This is bad. Are we as normal, I would say normal South Africans, someone who's like me and you, or even someone who is who specializes in economics and all of that, are we aware that this country is in more than what we call a crisis? How many people that you know that have lost their jobs recently? Can I tell you a very short story that I thought it would not even make it to YouTube. But now that I'm looking at the statistics and I'm hearing what people are saying, it actually forced me to talk about it, actually to tell it. Just this other day I was doing my own thing. That was definitely before it was before the festive season. I went to one of the retailers, maybe let me just give them airtime. I went to Pick n Pay. As I was at Pick n Pay, because at that mall that it was only Pick n Pay, and I think there was also Woolworths on the other side and Clicks and Discount and all the others. So there I was. I went to Pick n Pay. Not that I don't like them. Of course, I shop anyway. Got to Pick n Pay. It was almost empty, and it was during the week. So me always wanting to ask questions and understand what's going on, I was on the floor just doing my own thing. Then I saw this lady who works at Pick n Pay. So as we're talking, and we're having just a chit chat, then I asked her, "What is happening? Why aren't there a lot of people in the shop?" And you know what she said? She said, "People aren't coming to buy, except for those dates where they get the people that are still employed. For instance, around the 25th, around obviously end of the month, or when it's your it's maybe when it's a holiday, then you realize that only in December that people will come and shop." And I'm like, what? And it was almost empty. And she said, that's what is happening. People do not have money to buy. And I even said to her, "But are you happy? Are you safe in terms of your job? Are you okay with your family and all of that?" Not because, my friend, I had any solution, but also just to understand, is this what I've been saying to people that are around me? Is it true? And then she said, "Let me tell you something. Here at this Pick n Pay, we do not have senior managers." Okay, she said managers, but I'm sure that's more of a senior management level. I'm thinking people have actually asked to take their packages, and when they come back, if you do come back, you look for a job, and then obviously you would not take that senior position. So she was saying, "No, there's no senior management. There's no senior management." Actually, she said to me, "There are no managers here. It's only people that are from a supervisor, people that are supervisors, and also obviously the rest of the team leaders and all of that." And I'm like, "Pick n Pay?" And she said, "Yeah, yeah." And she said, and this was done because most people, it was either they lose their jobs for good, or come back, or just take positions that were there, which is they had to cut from managers. I'm not saying Pick n Pay doesn't have senior managers. I don't think so, because I didn't ask this question, or I didn't even follow up this question and go to other branches. But the branch that I went to, this lady did say to me, "You know what? There are no managers." And like I said, I thought there are no senior managers, because before we had managers, but now obviously the retailer doesn't have to pay managers. And she was saying to me, imagine people that had kids at certain schools, kids, paying their houses, paying their cars. They've just lost jobs like that. And it was not only for this retailer. You must understand that South Africa has actually gone through, a downhill economy, if I may put it that way. What are the solutions? Because I'm sure you're asking, that, you understand that, and you are maybe one of the people that have actually lost a job. What's your solution? What are you doing? Is there anything that you can share with us and say, guys, you're sleeping on this gold mine? There's something that you can do even in this economy that will not just look after yourself and your family, but also something that will grow and be a generational, and that will give you a generational wealth in the near future. Please talk to us, because right now this is scary. It's very, very scary. And it didn't, I mean, people are talking about the mines that have actually closed from as early as 2019. And people that are running, like, for instance, businesses that are affiliated to mines, like, for instance, your diesel, they can't. And people are blaming the government and all of that. I don't want to get into politics. Yes, government has got a lot to do with it. The corruption, allegedly, I mean, we've seen it, people walking away with hundreds and hundreds of millions. Not 10,000, not 10,000, no, hundreds and hundreds of millions. We've heard about the stories that people are actually corrupt. And I'm asking myself where we are at, what's going to happen in the next future. I mean, in the next few years. Are you stable where you are? Are you worried about whether you'll have your job tomorrow or not? And I mean, even your jobs that are, I would say, soft jobs, or I don't know how to call them. Sorry if I put, okay, English is not my mother tongue. I can easily speak my mother tongue or any other African language that I understand. So please don't come for me. So you can think of any other jobs. For instance, there are people that are letting go of their nannies. There are people that are letting go of their domestic workers, or people that assist our aunt. People are letting go of those people. And let me tell you something. Those are the people that have so much, in terms of so much to do, and so much to make sure that there's stability in a family. Because remember, if you're a single parent, I'm going to talk to single parents mostly. If you're a single parent, you go to work, you finish at work maybe at 6 o'clock, there's traffic, you get home, maybe you've got an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, you need someone who's going to go and fetch your children from school, from an aftercare. You can't do it on your own. You can't let your children just go and do it, depending on what area you are at, because we know it's not safe. So those are critical jobs that we actually need for our families. And now, because you cannot afford, you have to let go of them. Can you talk about it? Are you worried about your job? Are you still employed? Are you thinking of leaving your job because you can't take the stress that is from this job, or just the stress generally, that most of your family members aren't working now, and everything is actually on your shoulders and you cannot cope? Hence, you're just feeling, you know what, I just need to leave my job. Have you lost your job recently? And how have you actually picked yourself up, if you have? Have you just received a notification, or a meeting, a staff meeting, that says you need to be at this place because we are going to discuss, these are the agenda points, we might be retrenching some of you, or your company is just applying for bankruptcy, and therefore they're closing. How is this economy favoring everyone? And I think what is happening is that people that are rich, they're still gonna get richer. People that are poor, we can see. You go anywhere, you see people are not at the malls shopping, people are at home, people are just sitting, they're not doing anything. Are you also worried that the degree that your child is doing, or that you actually applied for, are you worried that is it gonna give you a job? Are we in an economy for jobs, or are we in an economy that should be actually forcing and advising people to do things on their own, like for instance, go online, do whatever you can online? Are you also getting support from people that are online in terms of saying these are the tools, these are the websites that you need to go to, or maybe these the YouTube channels that you need to watch and listen to podcasts and all of that so that you can gain a skill? Can you please talk, my friend? Because this is worrying me. More than 1,000 companies closing in the last 12 months. It's very scary. It is very scary. The economy is down. Yes, we understand globally things are not okay. But I mean, with the money that have been misused by our government, obviously, we are not surprised that we are where we are at the moment. But can you please have solutions? Can you please tell us what has helped you? You can be anonymous, it doesn't matter. But we need to know. It is scary. Are you stressing because you've just lost your job and you've just finished your pension fund, or your pension fund was not even worth all the years that you worked? Let's talk. There has to be solutions. If you're sitting somewhere and you're thinking it's not worth living, this life is just a scam, I've just lost a job, I don't have a job, I've been applying for jobs and I'm not getting jobs. Are you also planning, do you know what, to do the most horrible things to yourself? Please hold on. Just hold on. I'm sure there is something that can be done. There is something that you can do where you are that can make you survive. Nothing worse than hearing a mother saying, I do not have food for my children. Nothing worse than hearing a human being saying, I do not have anything to eat. Can we please talk? We need to talk. I know it's a very boring, maybe to you, topic, but can we please talk about it? I'm sorry, I wanted to do a sit down, but I was like, I can't even wait. Let me just quickly do this because it is actually bothering me. What I'm just hearing is actually bothering me. There is so much that's happening. People are blaming the BEE as well. People are just heartful. And they feel like the parties have actually, and this current government, they're saying it is the government that has actually made things worse. And again, others are saying, why did the government pursue the grants system? Because this is where people are now not doing anything. But some people will actually say, with the grants, this is what I've done. You know, with the grant, I've actually started a job. With the grant, I've actually went to train for something, and right now I've got a skill because of my grant. So it's kind of a catch-22 situation. Can we please talk about it and with solutions or just your experience? Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button. I shall see you on the next one.